The Pentagon has completely ripped up the old playbook to deal with Iran's asymmetric naval tactics. The new doctrine under Operation Epic Fury is as brutally simple as it is effective. Strike first, clear later. The US Navy is deploying the most sophisticated robotic strike force ever assembled in the history of naval warfare. We aren't just sweeping the water, we are surgically dismantling a trap. The Mayuri Nari, the One Majesty, the Star Gwyneth, the Safe Sea Vishnu, and the American-owned Lewis P. In just 7 days, these ships have been targeted in a series of desperate asymmetric strikes. Iran is trying to turn the Strait of Hormuz into a graveyard. The critics are asking, is America just watching? Not a chance. The US strategy starts in the air. Surveillance aircraft, drones, and strike fighters keep a 24/7 overwatch on the Iranian coastline. If a suspicious flotilla of small boats starts making a run for the tanker lanes, they become a target. The goal is to neutralize the mine layers before the trap is even fully set. While the headlines were focused on the tankers, the US Navy was already going kinetic. In the last 72 hours, American crews have wiped out nearly 30 Iranian mine-laying vessels. But let's be real, if even a couple of these mines slip through and hit the water, Phase 2 kicks in. Mine clearance. Minesweeping is the deadliest, most complex, and most zero-fail mission any sailor can face. We aren't talking about those rusty, spiky iron balls from World War II movies. Modern naval mines are smart. They wait. They listen. They hunt. Using 3 different triggers, the massive magnetic field of a steel hull, the acoustic signature of a propeller, or the pressure wave of a 100,000-ton vessel passing overhead. Some of these weapons are even programmed to let the first 3 ships pass safely, just so they can blow the hull off the largest target in the convoy, like a supertanker or an aircraft carrier. Clearing a live, smart minefield in the world's most contested water has always been the most dangerous puzzle in naval history, and frankly, most navies on Earth wouldn't even try it. But the US Navy isn't most navies. Iran's mining strategy doesn't rely on massive billion-dollar destroyers. They use platforms that are incredibly hard to track, fast attack craft, speedboats, even converted fishing trawlers. They load them up with explosives, zip into the narrow shipping corridors, drop their payload, and vanish before the sun comes up. It's cheap, it's fast, and it is a logistical nightmare to defend against. Because all it takes is a handful of mines in the water, and suddenly, maritime insurance evaporates. Commercial captains refuse to sail. Without firing a single missile, a global choke point is slammed shut. So the clearance process has to be absolute. The US Navy's mine clearing process is a 4-stage execution of pure technological overmatch. Step 1. The high-definition hunt. You can't kill what you can't see. The first thing the Navy does is flood the zone with Mk-18 Mod 2 Kingfish UUVs. These are autonomous underwater drones that look like small yellow torpedoes, but they are essentially high-speed underwater scanners. The Kingfish doesn't just look for mines. It uses synthetic aperture sonar, SAS, to create near-photographic 3D maps of the seafloor. It swims in a lawnmower pattern, scanning thousands of square yards an hour. To a Kingfish, a mine hidden behind a rock or tucked into a crevice stands out like a neon sign. It's the difference between using a flashlight in a dark room and turning on the stadium lights. Step 2. The mothership and the identification. While the drones are hunting, the Independence-class littoral combat ship sits offshore. Think of the LCS as a floating command and control center for robots. When a Kingfish flags an anomaly, the LCS launches a SeaFox. This is a remote-operated vehicle tethered to the ship by a fiber optic cable. A sailor in a dark room on the ship, likely an expert with a joystick, drives the SeaFox directly to the object. Using high-intensity LED lights and HD cameras, they identify the threat. Is it a rock? An old anchor? Or is it a smart mine waiting for a carrier? Once they confirm it's a live threat, we move to the execution. Step 3. The Archerfish execution. This is where the silent war gets loud. The Navy deploys the Archerfish mine disposal system. The Archerfish is a single-shot assassin. It's a small expendable drone that carries a powerful shaped charge warhead. The operator steers the Archerfish until it's staring the mine right in the face. Then, they pull the trigger. The Archerfish detonates, focusing all its explosive energy into a plasma jet that vaporizes the mine. It's a one-way trip for the drone, but it's a zero-risk operation for the Navy. No divers in the water, no sailors in the blast zone, just a robotic kill that keeps the mission moving. Step 4. The Ghost Hunter, Knifefish. But what about the ghost mines? These are the most dangerous weapons in Iran's arsenal. Mines that are actually buried under the sand on the seafloor to avoid detection. Standard sonar just bounces right off the seabed, leaving these traps invisible. Enter the Knifefish. This is the US Navy's ace in the hole. It uses low-frequency sonar that actually penetrates the sand and silt to find hidden shapes. If a mine is buried 3 feet under the ocean floor, the Knifefish sees it. This is technology that no other Navy on Earth has mastered. And it's the reason the US can confidently say that clear actually means clear. The heavy hitter, the Sea Dragon. For large-scale clearing, the Navy brings out the heavy lifting, the MH-53E Sea Dragon. This is a 3-engine monster of a helicopter with 10,000 shaft horsepower. The Sea Dragon tows the Mk-105 magnetic influence sled. This sled is a floating powerhouse that generates a massive magnetic and acoustic field. To a mine sitting on the bottom, that sled looks and sounds exactly like a 100,000-ton aircraft carrier. The mine triggers, thinking it's scored a hit, but it just explodes harmlessly in the wake of a sled, while the helicopter stays safely in the sky. Look, mine warfare is slow. Is this mission a grind? Absolutely. Mine warfare is a game of inches where the margin for error is 0. It's slow, it's methodical, and it's dangerous. But while the process is slow, the outcome is inevitable. At the end of the day, the world is watching to see if a few low-tech traps can actually bring the red, white, and blue to a standstill. They're betting that American resolve will crumble the moment things get complicated under the water. They couldn't be more wrong. American engineers and American sailors are winning a war with robotic assassins and laser-guided precision. We aren't just the world's policemen, we are the high-tech guardians of the global economy. And the US Navy is proving once again that when you try to close a door on the United States, we don't just knock, we rip the hinges off. But I want to hear from you, the people who actually keep this country moving. Here's my question for the comments. In this new era of silent war, do you think America should continue this surgical, robotic approach to clearing the strait? Or is it time to stop playing defense and give the world a full-scale, undeniable reminder of what 100,000 tons of American aircraft carrier diplomacy actually looks like? Are we being too patient? Or is this high-tech dominance the exact right way to win without putting our boots on the ground? I'll be down in the comments. I want to see where you stand on this. I know your time is valuable. You've got jobs, families, and 1,000 other things you could be doing. So I want to say a sincere thank you for spending a few minutes of your day here with us. It means the world. If you're proud of what our military is doing out there, do me a huge favor. Hit that new hype button right now. It's YouTube's latest way for you to push this video to more patriots and help us climb the rankings. Smash that. Share this video with one person who needs to see the real story, and hit subscribe so you never miss a breakdown. We're the best in the world for a reason. Stay sharp, stay proud, and I'll see you in the next one.